Still running your business on sticky notes? Still serving PTA flyer vibes with free word templates? Still stuck in that comfy little 2013 tech bubble for your business? AI called. It saw your workflow systems and it cried. Guess what? Your brand's in therapy now. Yeah, that comfort zone might be costing you more than you think. The Hello LLC welcomes you to go from chaos to clarity. We've been talking AI since before it was trendy. But now we're showing you how to actually use it. Real business use cases, automation hacks, and AI strategies that scale your brand now and set you up for the future. This is the AI Edge, powered by the Hello LLC. Streaming live every Tuesday at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time from the Hello Plaza, our Metaverse HQ. Yep, join the Metaverse from your phone, laptop, iPad, even Grandma's VR headset if she'll let you use them. Or if you're still holding on, catch us on the crusty, dusty 2D social media platforms like LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, and X. Either way, press the button, and let's upgrade. From chaos to clarity, let's work smarter, not harder. Buckle up, buttercups, and let's explore the AI edge.
And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. We want to welcome you all to the Hello LLC. And if you don't know, Hello stands for Helping Entrepreneurs Leverage Leading Edge Optimizations. And we are here today to help you make that pivot. And today's amazing room is more stress or success. 61% of business owners feel that AI is helping them, not hurting them. And so hopefully you are one of those 61% that do believes AI is here to help your business and not to hurt your business. And we say that with all sincerity because we continue to hear people talk about how AI isn't going to do this, isn't going to do that. We were literally sitting here watching the movie with Denzel Washington, Lowest to Highest, and he was talking about how AI is going to take over the music industry and AI this and AI that. And he was literally making fun of AI. And I'm here to share with you guys all. There's a lot of people out there that truly don't believe in this AI and think it's all about the hype. And I want to help you guys understand that the AI is really helping us create at the speed of thought. That now you get to have this assistant. You get to be able to tell this assistant, hey, I need you to do this. I need you to do that. I need you to help me out with this, help me out with that. And it literally will be able to do it. And so this is where we get to use, the really true nilly willy of cutting through the chaos to show you how we can turn stress into success and really be able to get rid of that mindset of, oh, I can't do this. I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to do this. Oh, I'm not good at that. And this is what that AI allows you to do is say, hey, I need you to help me with this. I need you to help me with that. And I have my amazing other half that is always here with me and bringing the other half of this because, I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm going to tell you the raw. And sometimes it's going to be some things you might not want to hear, but I'm telling the truth. Find the lie. And Tara's going to put it in a nice little bow for you and gently, give it to you in a way that you might hear it in a different way. But please believe it is real, it is raw, it is authentic, and we want the best for you. A lot of the times we hear, we listen, we see so many other people that talk about helping you, but they're not truly helping you. They're setting you behind. And I had a great experience of listening to one individual do that. And we'll talk about that later and really dig deep in that. But we want to stick to more stress, right? Or success as today's topic. What you got on that, baby?
Boy, howdy. We talking about some AI. Howdy, y'all. Well, happy Tuesday. It's a great day here in the neighborhood. We're talking about more stress or more success. 61% of owners feel AI is helping, not hurting. And at the end of the day, I love me some AI, not only for business reasons, but personal reasons, in the sense of, heck, I was just asking ChatGPT today about Western holidays that are recognized within Thailand. You know what? It saved me a whole lot of time because it gives me an answer in 30 seconds of a general consensus of understanding that here we're going to see people celebrate Christmas. We're going to see people celebrate New Year's. We're going to see people celebrate Valentine's Day here. Yeah, you're like, gee, what's that have anything to do about today's topic? You know what has to do about today's topic? I'm more successful because I'm saving time. I'm using time to, time is our greatest asset. As David has always shared, we have shared on our platforms, you can't buy it in the store. You can't get more time because it would be sold out and there would be a fight on aisle 6. Let me tell you, people would be like killing people, murking people in the aisle 6, over time. So you would constantly have a rain check for time. Anywho, point being, you can't get more of it. We all have a set amount of time. We don't know how long that is. And so while we're here, why don't we use it in a wiser fashion? I had to think about that. Wiser is not a word, but I'm going to make it a word today.
You make it however you want to make it.
I'm always making it.
This is your show today.
Look, I made some fried okra today. AI did not help me on that one.
Hey, don't get it started on that. Tara definitely put it down in the kitchen today.
We're surprised we're even here. Anywho.
And don't have the itis.
And that's another thing to talk about when we do our next podcast coming up. It's going to be talking about the food that we, one of the topics will be talking about the difference of food. Here, you can eat a meal like we did today. And yeah, it was food. It was, most of it was fried, but it doesn't make you feel like, oh my gosh, I'm going to go into a coma. You don't feel like that. So back to the topic at hand. AI is here to stay. We had a conversation yesterday with one of our colleagues and makes us just laugh. And, this person is not so geared towards AI. But what we as a community and society don't realize, including our friend and our family, by the way, I have this conversation with my 74-year-old mother, is at the end of this, whole bow in a package thing here. AI is already in place. Your phone, being able to have the internet at your fingertips anytime you pull your cell phone out, being able to check your bank account online through an app, being able to check what's on your credit card statement. I mean, the list is endless. And so, today we're going to buzz through, some conversations about this because people don't understand that they're utilizing it already. 61% of small business owners say that AI helps them and not hurts them. This is what the truth is. And these people that we are talking to are business owners. And people have to understand that this is an asset. It is not an hindrance. And yes, there are different conversations that people can have, right? You can have a conversation about, oh my God, it's a takeover and, we're all doomed. Well, newsflash, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but you're not getting out of this alive. You, as our mentor used to tell us, you are rearranging the chairs on the Titanic, to the deck of the Titanic. I can't even, talk on the Titanic. So news, wake up. You're not going to get out of this. So when we talk about, oh my gosh, AI is going to be the demise of us, half of us won't even be here. So what does it matter? So utilize AI to your benefit, and especially within the conversation of your business. Funny little thing, it is, I want to hand this mic back over to Mr. Jones, but I'm going to make a comment here that David and I see quite often is people talk about not needing to have the power of technology, AI, or systems in their business. You guys, we get the understanding of get going. Don't make sure everything's not perfect. We get it. We started a business too. You got to get down, get dirty, and get things going. But 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years into a business, 2 years into a business, you need to have the power of technology working for you, not against you. And we literally have one of our clients, Miss Leah Garcia, who, when we have this conversation in public, she's like, I didn't realize how much time I was spending doing things the old way. And now I have much more, I have free time that I've already used to do something else that I don't even know how I was doing it all to begin with, because I was doing things, for lack of better terms, ass backwards. Mr. Jones?
Yeah. And before I even get into that a little bit further, I did a great video this week, and I'm going to share this with you guys. And and this right here will be a great example and a leeway into what we're going to be talking to next. So check out this next video, and you're going to even understand further. Watch this. So look, y'all don't want to listen to me. Y'all don't want to listen to Tara. Y'all don't want to listen to facts, stats, none of that shit that we have. But you will listen to Gary Vee, which just blows my mind. We've been preaching, we've been praying, we've been throwing up our hands to the gods. We've been doing all of this shit to let y'all know metaverse, AI, fintech, robots, all of this shit is here. And Gary Vee is going to give you some great examples. So I want you to buckle up and listen to him, since y'all asses don't want to listen to us. And we do weekly rooms on this shit. The AI Edge, where we talk about AI, we talk about robotics, we talk about metaverse. Nobody shows up, nobody presses the button. I wonder why. And then when shit pop off, you're going to be like, ooh, that's amazing. You know what? We talked about this shit. Listen to Gary Vee talk about the same shit we've been talking about.
I don't want to understate how big AI is. Jane, people are going to find other jobs because new jobs will be invented. Let me give you a big one. Electricians are about to go crazy. The amount of electricity AI takes and the amount of need of human electricians, electrical engineers. Let's talk about what Justin's doing right now. How about when I, 15 years ago, decided to have D-Rock follow me around with a camera? And then all of a sudden, miraculously, tens of thousands of human beings' jobs on Earth was following another human being around with a camera. Mm-hmm. That wasn't a job before YouTube, right? This is going to create so many jobs people don't know exist yet, but there will be a recalibration.
And you're saying it's going to create so many jobs that don't exist yet that can't just be done by robots?
Correct. That's right. That's exactly what I'm saying. Let me give you an example.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're noticing this, but like humans are starting to do more real life stuff. Experiential events are up. You know why? We're over digitalizing, so we want to go to concerts, we want to go to sporting events, we want to go to like random in-person attendance to Comic-Con, like all these things exploding. As AI creates more stuff, more people will do real life stuff. I'll give you a weird business. I think someone listening right now can start a business to be a human that walks with you on a walk in your neighborhood.
I think you're right.
Okay, let's stick on this one. Notice how you responded. I'm going to say it again. This is a weird one. Let's say you're like me, very extroverted, in love with people, not scared. You can literally start a business right now that says, I will walk with you when you walk and talk and hang in the neighborhood for $50 for that hour. Did that job exist 20 years ago? You would have been laughed out of the room. And notice how fast you were like, I believe, right? I'm telling you, the rise of technology will create the counter rise of humanity, and people don't see it yet.
Facts on truth. Fight me. So that right there, ladies and gentlemen, was a prime example of how Tara and I have been sharing with you guys. At least I know 9 years when we started this business was, hey, this AI, this technology is going to change. You guys got to change what you're doing. Your job is going to be obsolete. People looked at me crazy. My family looked at me crazy. People on the golf course looked at me crazy. Everybody looked at me crazy. And here we are now, 10 years later, those conspiracy theories, all those crazy things, even now that I was telling Tara beforehand, before she got on her little spiritual journey, she would look at me and be like, boy, get your ass out of here. And now here it is, smack dad, that I'm going to take it even a little bit further on what Gary Vee said. He said that we're going to need electricians, and Robots are already doing that, as I showed in the video, that they already got robots that are on the poles doing electricity work. They already got plumbers that are doing, plumbing work with robots. And even when he talked about, the YouTube era, and this is where we share with people that it has happened in our generation. When YouTube came around, you would have never saw anybody following anybody around with a camera and documenting that person's whole entire life, from Ed Milet to Joe Dispenza to all these major people that you see, aka network marketing, that do all these lives and all of these things. I even got something on that here in a little bit, but it's just crazy that now, if you guys haven't been checking out the Riz robot that I've been putting on our social media, you're going to have AI robots follow people around and now do their social media. You're going to have Riz robot follow you around, have a camera on him, document your whole entire day, cut, splice, dice, all of that, and do your social media. And now you no longer need a person.
Don't be acting a fool. He's going to put you on live and blast.
Boom. Not only that, he talked about somebody walking in the park with you. They're already coming out with companions that are made out of robots that people are actually dating now. And I'm just sorry to say this, but there's people out there right now that have relationships with actual blow up dolls. I got trapped in TikTok world, and there's this guy that invited this lady over to his house for a date, and he had 4 dolls that he was living with, and she was coming over to have dinner with those dolls and her. It was weird. Don't ask me how I got there. But anyhow, different story. What I'm saying is that all these things that we thought
I have one follow-up question.
Yeah,
but
I
this
know.
is not the conversation.
No, this is not. I'm just sharing with you how this is all coming together, right? That when we talk about AI, when we talk about all of these things, it's really, truly already happening, especially when we talk about marketing, right? AI-driven ads, lower cost by 20 to 30% compared to manual targeting. Okay, that's a Deloitte fact. Content creation speed improved 10% with generative AI. You're talking to a company that does and has AI doing social media for us, and that is hands down has 10 times X our actual social media, from ours to our customers that we currently do right now, to so many individual things that this generative AI does. And so when we talk about stress or success in your business, you really got to get out of that old mentality of you got to do everything and you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to put this together. You do not need to do those things. And another thing that I heard the other day was somebody talk about hustling, but then manifestation. I kind of found that, counterproductive and, being contradicting, that we're talking about manifestation and being in energy and being in frequency and being in that vibration, but then also over here hustling and bustling and doing the old ways. I didn't say not work, right? I didn't say not take action. And I didn't say not, have a daily routine and do things. There's a difference between those things of really hustling and doing, action. And
there's a difference between attraction and grinding.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So that's what I got. What you got, love, after that video? What you got?
I think the biggest thing is that, speaking of TikTok, getting caught in TikTok, I saw another creator who's, building their account, and they're just a quote unquote influencer of their own life. They don't own a business. And then I saw another creator who, I don't know if this person owns a business, but does have his presence on TikTok, talking about the lack of support and the lack of initiative by small brands and or individuals. Meaning, let's break this down. What do I mean about this? People can get stuck in scrolling and not liking. We talk about it all the time. Digital currency. press the like button. It costs you nothing. You're swiping anyways. You got to make the movement anyways. You can hit the heart and move on. Hit the plus, the like, the thumbs up and move on. And spend some digital currency. It doesn't cost you a darn thing. There are people that will scroll for hours, 12 hours at a time. Yes, at a time. And will not like half the things, not even a quarter, not even a 16th of the things that they see. But they're there being entertained and consuming content and don't have the ability to say thank you by pressing the like button. Where am I going with this? It comes down to the simple fact of Gary Vee is finally talking about something, and now everybody wants to pay attention. Just like one creator said, we can't push the like button for our fellow friends or family who are either building a presence on TikTok or own a business, but Beyonce's birthday can come around and we need to go out and buy her album and buy her shampoo and buy her perfume and buy all of this to support her. What happened to the small creator that has been talking about AIs and coming down the pipeline, who has been giving you the business and the bee's knees, but you discredit them because you don't think they have any clout because they're not famous like Gary Vee or Beyonce? Like, blows our mind when people do not utilize the tools in front of them. 70% of employees say AI reduces burnout. Hello? 70% of employees say AI reduces burnout. So why are we as humans not utilizing AI to reduce our burnout in life? If we can use it in a business and respond to emails and have a company who is streamlining it, why are we not utilizing it? Why are we not building many systems within our systems, whether you own a business or you're a busy professional? Guess what? You need systems in your life too. So at the end of the day, understand that this conversation about AI is not going to go anywhere. You can bury your head in the sand. Trust me. Look, you can either be here and be early and be now and take action and get on board and make your life easier and know the learning curve, or you can sit on your haunches and not do diddly squat and stick your head in the sand and say, I don't wanna. And then all of a sudden, 5 years from now, it is shoved all the way down your throat, meaning everything you deal with, you call up for customer service, you're dealing with a customer service AI rep. There's no more humans available at all. Period. You know why? Because humans are a liability. Humans cause problems. Humans have emotions and they get an attitude. And when Susie Q calls up because her energy bill is sky high and she can't figure out what happened to her rate when she all of a sudden went from $200 to $2,000 for her bill all of a sudden in 1 month, she's going to be a little spicy, a little sassy. And you get on the phone with a human and they're going to take it personal even though they know it's not personal. But that's what humans do.
It's not personal. They're going to take it personal.
They're going to take it personal, but they know this lady's calling up about a bill and you can't do anything about it. And she's going to have your hide and you're going to get personal and you're going to hang up, or you're going to tell her to kick rocks, or you're going to just go silent and not help her. And then she's going to demand to have a speak to your higher up. It's not going to be a pretty situation. Instead, you have AI on the other line. It listens. It recognizes what's going on. It repeats back and it says, 1 moment while I analyze your account. Oh, yes, right here. You forgot to hit the I agree button on the new rate. And so you were billed at the full month-to-month rate, ma'am. But guess what? Because you've been a loyal customer, we can back rate that and it will knock off, it won't be $200, but it'll be $350, and then we'll lock you into the rate. So moving forward, it's going to be $200 every month, ma'am. That is the difference between AI, who will listen, do a quick search and figure out where, what, and why, and be able to handle the solutions protocol, so that way you don't lose a customer because Johnny loses his shit on Susie Q. And we have, clean up on aisle 6, and now, hey, I had a good experience. I'm going to go tell my friends about it. So we look at AI as a demise, but we need to start looking at, which tells you, by the way, let me just point this out. If you look at things as a demise, like AI, newsflash, you look at most of things in life as a demise. Why? How can you make that judgment, Tara? Because if you're looking at something in a negative light, that tells me the first thing that you do and you go gravitate to is looking at something negative. If you're not talking about, hey, yeah, there is a negative side to it, but there's so many other positive sides, the way that you show up and speak about it tells me immediately how you process information and how open you are, and how, if you show up in a negative context or a positive context around things. Positive, by the way, shows up to make solution, create solution, and shows up with answers or solutions that help the greater good. So anyways, the thing is that, the talking point of AI is, oh my God, it's bad, it's got to go away, I hate it. Well, you can live your life like that, but it's not going to do you a darn bit of good. Again, 70% of employees say it helps them avoid burnout.
What you gonna say about that for all you haters?
Why? Because automated workflows reduce errors by 30%. These are facts, guys. This is what is so.
Well, this is where we share with people, don't allow your emotions to get in the way. And this is even more the reason why AI is so prevalent for you to be utilizing in your business. And this is something that we'll talk about in our podcast as well, is that, growing up, listening to my father, listening to my parents, listening to people around me, I've come to a realization, respectfully, they didn't know shit. And you might look back at your life and you might sit in a corner and be by yourself and look at your upbringing and look at the reasonings and look at the rhymes and look at the foundation and look at some of the things that you live by are based off of somebody's emotions and somebody else's experiences and somebody else's lack of awareness and lack of emotional awareness at that, and creating this whole world that now they've had children, that now they create this world that now they tell you these things. And that's what's happened for me. And I've really had to go back and be like, hold on, that's actually not true. Prime example would be, now that me and Tara have traveled and been outside of America, living in Colombia, living in Mexico, I was just told that, there was one Latino person. There was just Mexicans. I didn't know that there was Colombian, Brazilian, Nicaraguan. I didn't know there was different, ethnicities, Central America, Venezuelan. I didn't know there was different cultures of a Latino culture. And they are all different and they all look different. They all go by different, rules and vibrations. And I didn't know that. And I grew up just putting people all in one block. Even now, being over here in Thailand, we would put Asians all in one big ass group of Asians, not knowing that there's Thailand, there's Cambodian, there's Vietnam, there's Taiwan, there's Japanese, there's Hong Kong. There's all these different Asian ethnicities that have different, styles, different things that they don't do. And if you don't know that and you're not aware of those things, there's so many different aspects and different little slots that get filled in your life that are so not right, that are incompletely wrong. And if you don't know those things, if you don't pick up a book, right, and you just judge life upon that, and even back in the day, I know I got told, go read an encyclopedia. Like, excuse my French, but do you know how big a damn encyclopedia is? Am I going to read this encyclopedia or am I going to go play Nintendo? I'm sorry. I'm going to go play Nintendo. And to this day, even right now, me and Tara are outside asking these questions and we're asking ChatGPT and it's literally spitting out these answers for us left and right, giving us a full on lesson of these things around the world that now we don't have to guess and we don't have to think or make these assumptions about things. We actually get to know them, and whether we recite them or repeat them the right way, that's the issue in hand that happens a lot of the times, because sometimes you do learn these things, you do listen to these things, but you just repeat it in the wrong way. And we all know about the telephone game. And so that's so key in this. And so today I did a live video and I want to share this video. I'm going to share it again, but I would definitely want to give you guys a first look, a first take
before you share
this video. Yeah, go ahead.
I wanted to share that, when you said the encyclopedia, you were going to go play the Nintendo.
Yeah.
My big brother was playing the Nintendo. So yeah, I had the same options, but it was, for me, I was the kid that was like, well, I'll go read the encyclopedia then. So that's why I chuckled, because you're like, nope, Nintendo. And I was like, that's such a big brother, because David's the big brother in his family. And then so I laughed because but then when you shared about the ChatGPT and us setting out and asking questions, ChatGPT is an encyclopedia, but now you can ask it, it brings it forth instead of you having to go find it. And that's the beauty of it. So,
yeah. And so I'm sorry, I didn't want to cut it off, but so you can agree that, there's some things that you've probably had to relearn and reprogram and restructure based off some of the things that you've learned and you've heard in your past career or, from your parents, whatever. We all have to take a look at how that plays out in our lives.
And that's the beauty of the time we live in. I hear so many people talk about, I want to go back to the old days and the olden days. Mm-hmm. And I get it, because there's a simpler time with less technology. Look, we all like to unplug. We all like to put the phone down and just chill out and go golf, go fish, go walk, go sew, go garden, whatever it is, right? Hike, whatever it is. We all like to unplug and do our thing. But what happens, in the bigger picture is we're not going back to those times. So the best thing to do is to understand how you gain more time by utilizing the power of technology. And the beautiful thing about what you said is that when we identify that we have to unlearn how to do some things that we learned because look, David and I were born in early 80s. So we're the Zennials. We were born where technology had just started. So we went to school and we had technology available. It was available at some point in our early life, mid like 10, 11, 12, time to where the adaptability was there for us. Mm-hmm. I have an older brother who doesn't have that adaptability, and he's 6 years older than I am. And the point being is that having that ability to become adaptable to technology, but also knowing how things were the old school ways. We live in a time where communication and information is coming out what we would get in 100 years. So from 1800 to 1900, that amount of information that came out to the general population is the same amount of information we get in one 24-hour span. 100 years into 24 hours, we are living in the information age. And that is critical for us to understand Are you showing up with a positive mindset of a solution of how to harness that power and use it? Or are you showing up in a negative, pessimistic thing going, I want the old school way where I churned butter and I walked uphill both ways to school in 10 foot of snow? Do you want to work harder, not smarter, or do you want to work smarter, not harder? It comes down to how much wood did the woodchuck chuck if the woodchuck could chuck wood? Well, the woodchuck can chuck a whole lot of wood when he uses AI and systems and technology instead of his own self. So the question will always continue to evolve. And that's the beauty of what David was sharing, is that you get the chance to evolve if you do the work. But now, because we have so much information at our fingertips with a personal assistant, i.e., ChatGPT, Claude, Grok, whoever you want to use, get in pocket and utilize these and understand that you're still a human and you still need to utilize critical thinking and allow it to be a partner to help you critical think. I saw a post like this, and before we watch this video.
Yeah, go ahead.
Look, I have two great mentors that were in my business life, for almost 15 years. And I saw one of them repost something on Facebook the other day, which was about AI and how AI is going to be the demise of us. And these individuals are the same age as my mom. So they're in their, early to mid 70s. And I have nothing but love. But it shows me the closed-minded thinking that we have as we get older and how we get so stuck in our ways. And the article that was reposted, I read it. It was about, and this is what I want to drill down on, the importance of you as a human having critical thinking with or without AI. And you can utilize AI to have a deeper, more in-depth critical thinking attribute to yourself by utilizing it to have it partner and help you get there. Here was what the article was about. Short, sweet, and simple. A mom was was suing Sam Altman and another tech giant over AI and ChatGPT because her son committed suicide. And it was discovered that her son essentially committed suicide because it was talking to ChatGPT, and ChatGPT was encouraging this person to commit suicide. And there was actual snippets of the conversation. And I read those. And it was the fact that AI was having a conversation with this person, but AI was responding as, you're doing great, not realizing that it has a context about suicide. And it doesn't understand the depths of suicide. And my point being is because I want to be very understanding and caring about those who have lost somebody that they love to suicide. It's not a joke. But what I would share is that we have to have parameters in place so that way we have critical thinking and we can utilize these stopgaps to help people in the right way instead of being able to yield it and wield it as an enemy and a tool that works against us instead of for us. And so at the end of the day, understanding what is at play, how to utilize it, understand that look, I was having a conversation with ChatGPT and I said something and it said, oh, if you are thinking about that, you need to contact a therapist or someone to talk to or call 911 it was telling me to reach out. I was like, that's not what I meant. You misunderstood me. I don't have that problem. My point being is it was showing up to encourage me to get help if that was the issue. So we have to understand that we got to utilize AI within the same parameters you would use a vehicle. Critical thinking. You use critical thinking when you use a vehicle. Utilize it with AI to help you to save time, work smarter, not harder. Okay, Mr. Jones, we can play the video. Thank you so much.
So let me help you out. With success comes embarrassment. And if you're not ready for embarrassment, then you're not ready for success. Because you're going to have to embarrass yourself. You're going to have to get uncomfortable. Nothing changes if you don't change. And let me show you something. I can be so embarrassed right now. I could be scared. I could be all of that, caring about what people say, but I don't. Because guess what? You got to get out of your own way. And more importantly, the things that you want is on the other side of the things that you're not doing. And so stop listening to people that get emotional, that don't know their actual facts. And not only that, doing the old school hustle culture. So the other day I heard somebody say, man, you don't need to know website. You should stop worrying about your design. You don't even much need to worry about your logo. And I'm here to share with you, that is the old mentality. Because facts will share with you that your first impression, 75% of people judge you by your website. So that's kind of like having a restaurant and not having a menu. Your colors build trust. 80% of people build trust on your brand recognition. So it's kind of like having a party and not giving people an address. Your logo is your handshake. 60% of people that don't have brand logos that are appealing, people are out of there. So it's kind of like running an actual store with the lights off. And so be careful who you listen to and how you listen to their information. Because I'm here to share with you, having your website, utilizing this AI, utilizing this metaverse is key. And you must be able to build your foundation, build your systems, utilizing all of these things. And that's where your website starts. So if you don't know about the Hello LLC, I'm here to share with you. You should know about us. We are here to help you build the future. We can show you, teach you, or do it for you.
And look, when I talk about embarrassment, for me to be able to do this video, all these people could be watching me, but I could care less. Because guess what? They're not out here pressing the button, sharing their life story. Because remember, it's not always about just social media. It's about leaving your legacy, leaving your dynasty, leaving your trail. And this is the way I get to do it. Live forever. Change the game. Doodles! Boom. And so, having this conversation and thinking about this person that shared, you don't need to worry about a website. You don't need to worry about, your brand colors. You don't need to worry about, having a logo. He could not have been further from the truth. And so stuck in our emotions and that old mentality of understanding, first of all, a lot of us, and I'll just speak from our point of view, Grant Cardone, Oprah, I can go on Ed Milet, so many individuals that we know started in network marketing. And when they started in network marketing, guess what? Those companies had a system already set up for them. Mm-hmm. They already had a website. They already had all of these things put in place for them. And when they start working with this company or this outside organization, like a lot of individuals that are in financial companies that get with these insurance companies that have this foundation set up for them. So when this individual even shared that, and then looking into their background, which is where they started at, right? They got with these companies that were network marketing companies that they've created now their own company, telling you not to worry about a website is absolutely false. And I'm here to share with you, you absolutely have to have systems. You have to have processes. You have to have a foundation in order to be able to showcase your business in the right way. Because we're moving to a global market at the end of the day. We're not no longer in your neighborhood, in your state, in your city. We're moving to a global economy where, we're moving to where AI ads are going to be able to go globally. You're moving to where you really don't need a lot of employees. You can be able to set up a lot of these systems internally. So your website is key, especially as we move to implementing AI, this metaverse, this blockchain, this fintech that we'll continue to bring to the forefront to your doorstep and bring to you facts, bring to you articles. Make sure you guys are following us on our social medias, because right now we are omnipresent as always on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on YouTube, on Twitch, on X, on Instagram, and live on TikTok as well. So we just don't talk about it. We are about it. And we want you guys to also come and join us so you can be omnipresent as well. And so with that being said, love, you got anything you want to share on that?
I just think at the end of the day, it's utilizing technology. And a lot of times we know, again, we're the generation that was born right at technology. So we have family that does I don't understand this, or I'm not good with technology. And that is a story, just like I don't, sing well, or I can't ride a horse, or I can't, I don't have a green thumb. We tell ourselves these stories, and the reality is that you can be as good as you want to or not with technology and AI and systems and your business, and being strategic and utilizing the professionals out there that can help you, or you can fumble through it, figure it out yourself, do it yourself, and or not do it yourself. But again, you have to understand. I shared this with David the other day when we heard, the conversation of don't worry about having your website up, or don't worry about having, those systems or logos or things in place. And yeah, sure, you can do that, but that's kind of like showing up to a job interview in your pajamas. Like, you can do that, but is it going to be the best look for your business when you're out there and you're having these conversations and, hey, let me see your website. Oh yeah, pull it up on your website. Oh, it's, I don't have that yet. I'm still working on that. Look, people are going to be forgiving to your face, but in their mind, when you tell them, we live in a world of who doesn't have a website. So if you don't have something up that is a digital footprint of your business, you have people making judgment about you subconsciously that you are not, and they'll never tell you. You'll never know. So you can take that advice from people who fly by the seat of their pants and do things half-assed and don't show up with full integrity of their own business. You can follow the lead of those people, but you have to understand, where are they going? What will they continue to show you and lead you to do? Will they have you making investments into things that you shouldn't be in and losing money and or time? Not saying that individual or those individuals or those groups or those type of people do that, but I'm just sharing with you. Use critical thinking and utilize AI to help you. And stop working harder. Start working smarter. Saving your time so that way you can spend that time to go for a walk with your kid or your wife or your husband, or go play ball in the backyard, or whatever it is, right? That is the beauty of what AI can do for us. And we get so in fear of what it is and it's going to take us over that we don't realize, no, it's going to create time freedom for us. But so many people don't know how to just sit and be still and have to be busybody all the time. And because of that, they rather do shit the hard way. So I know what way I'm doing it. You do what you want to do, boo-boo, but I'm doing it the easier way. So, as we wrap up this conversation, Mr. Jones,
Yeah, well, hold on. We've been beating people upside the head left and right here a little bit. If you guys want to know some funny, real deal things that we do, you guys got to follow us on social media. We continue to share with you guys. Follow us on social media. AI continues to not only get serious, but also funny.
Look, don't come after me, okay? This is too damn funny. And it's funny enough for you to understand this is AI. Because I know somebody gonna say, David, you wrong for showing this little boy walking crooked. That ain't no little boy. That's a grown-ass man. He had a phone in his hand. Now he don't. Now he crip walking. Look at this. What if your U.S. post office man jumped out the car, dancing like this and shit? Look at him. Dropping it like it's hot. Making it rain. Ooh, boy. Look at you. This is a trip. Look, they're saying AI is going to automate 30% of our jobs. So I don't know if Billy Bob Shorty is going to have a job here pretty soon. You're going to have robots that literally deliver your mail. Look at him.
This don't make no sense. I'm just saying. This is why you need to bring your ass in Metaverse. And you don't have to worry about none of this. Come on now. Ooh.
Good. Play if you want, let's do it. I'm a young CEO, sure. Yeah.
Billy Bob Shorty.
Billy Bob Shorty.
I love
So Tara was laughing her ass off when I was making this video. And, you know, I've been showing these videos, and you guys have probably been seeing these AI videos where you're like waiting for it to change. And a lot of the times people are like, we were talking to one of our good friends. He's like, I don't know what's real. I don't know what's fake. I don't know any of this. And this is something that did happen in the news, is that Africa just, you know, desegregated itself from Google, to where Google in the past was giving people in Africa what they wanted people to see. Other than the African content, they would charge Africans, the African community, to see African written stuff. Like they were being the gatekeeper. And this is what we share with you guys, is that we're moving to this decentralized platform, which is where Metaverse comes into play, to where Africa and India and Japan and Thailand can create their whole entire immersive decentralized world in Metaverse. And now people get control of what's seen, how it's seen, and you can take control of what you want people to see. And you don't have to worry about any of these platforms taking it down, telling you can't do this, telling you can't do that, warning here, ban there, none of that. And this is where we continue to share with you guys that decentralization, aka Web3, aka Metaverse, aka this new experience and engagement, aka freedom at its finest, to where you get to control and you get to create at the speed of thought, that this allows you to do. And once again, this is writing on the wall. So that's what I have to share with you guys on this. If you guys do not know, you definitely need to make sure that you come and join us for Wealthy Wednesday with Miss Leah herself. I'm going to be a special guest on there. And so instead of me talking about it, we're going to let some AI do its work. Check it out.
Hey, rock stars. Join me for Wealthy Wednesday with David Jones, CEO of the Hello LLC. I call him Mr. Mike Drop. Let's get real. If you're still rocking an old, crusty, dusty website, you might as well be pedaling a tricycle on the freeway. Your website is the foundation of your business. Be careful who you listen to about it. The wrong advice can cost you time, money, and growth. I've got my own biz in a box, and it's not just a website. It's an experience. Automation plus AI and a future-proof foundation equals a system that works while I sleep. Join us live. Go visit my biz in a box and see for yourself at leahgarcia.io. The future is already here. So buckle up, buttercups, and come join us.
Buckle up, buttercups. Come join us. So yeah, Mr. Jones, tomorrow we'll be on with Miss Leah talking about all things systems technology, the power of AI, and how it can not only help you, but boost your business.
Don't just build a website, build your systems.
Yeah.
And then you guys make sure you come and join us with Miss Cleo.
Yeah.
Miss Cleo Michael and her Set Yourself Free podcast on September 27th at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah.
You guys definitely come and join us in her amazing live podcast room, where this takes podcasting to a whole new level. You ain't got to listen to no old, crusty, dusty Spotify, Apple. You can come and be a part of the podcast and ask the guest, ask Cleo the questions, and really have an engaging conversation where we welcome this engaging and this conversation that people really want to have these conversations and be a part of. So now, instead of you listening to a live, you don't have to show up on camera. You ain't got to do none of that stuff. You can listen, you can watch, you
Listen,
can talk.
Linda.
Listen, Linda, you can do whatever you want to, but definitely press the button and come and experience something different, because at the Hello LLC, we can show you, we can teach you, or we can do it for you, where we literally help you build your website, help you build your back-end systems, help you implement this AI and this metaverse, and more importantly, we help you press the button.
Look, and you might like to do this. You might like to be the one that builds your stuff. Do you want to spend the time? I'll tell you, I'm a builder. I like to build things, but there will be things that I'm like, I don't want to spend the time to learn the learning curve when I can there you go. The Hello LLC, take care of that, and I will go focus on what I need to do. So at the end of the day, you don't know how to do it, you do know how to do it. Utilize your time wisely.
Yeah. One thing before we get out of here, right? It's something that you said earlier when you talked about how when we grew up in the 80s and technology was something that when we were 10 years old, we went from Nintendo to Sega to Super Nintendo to PlayStation to Xbox, just in that era with technology on the gaming. You talk about cell phones. We went from the block phone. We went from the flip phone.
Nokia.
We went from the BlackBerry. Went from the iPhone. Right now we're at these bad boys.
Samsung.
Look at our laptop. We went from the desktops to the smaller desktops to like the PCs to like the lap to like all the iPad.
Everything built into a big ass monitor.
Everything
now.
Built into like the monitor. Look at our music. Our music went from 8 tracks to tapes to CDs to iPod to all of these to now all in your phone.
Napster.
Right? It went from all these things. And I'm saying this because we grew up in an era of change, of consistent adapting, right? Where our parents, on the other hand, did not grow up with that type of change. So I'm sitting up here making people wrong for being old school, but really now talking out loud. They didn't grow up with that type of adaptability. They grew up where they were forced to move from the mail to fax to email. They were forced to go from text message to email. They were forced to go from cell phone to Zoom calls, right? They live in a generation where they were forced to do these things because they had to. Where we've done these things just because it was cooler, it was more funner, and we could do these things. And look at our kids now, right? These kids now are doing things that are so much further and creative, where they're actually building their own games, such as in Roblox and things like that. They're building their own Sega and lines of communications, just like they built an app. A kid built an app for daycares where you can monitor your kids at daycare, and kids building these things. And so I'm just sharing this out loud to end this in a conversation to where we have to really be able to understand how this progression and this restructuring, as Gary Vee talked about, that we're really in a retool, and really reconsidering how we live life. Just as, we went from primitive days, from a fire to a stove, now from a stove to an air fryer, and now being able to, just have it on the go. And so these are things that we just bring to you guys' perspective as we share. All is one at the end of the day. And if you really take a step back, you'll be able to adapt to these things, which is why I share. Rich people will think about solutions. Broke people will think about problems. And we don't say this in pocketbook. We say this in mindset. And we say this with being grateful for everything that you have today, because it can be taken just like that. I had a little twitch in my knee in the last day or so, and I'm just going through all the things that I'm able to do now with running and no pain and all of these things. And now I'm giving this flashback like, oh shit, what happens if I have like this bum knee and I can't do all these things? And so it's just the way you look at things and being grateful for the things that you have now. And even saying that out loud, we just saw an ad the other day that you don't need knee surgery no more. They now can inject these I don't want to call it machines, but I want to call it like nano machines that can go in there and rebuild, your actual, structure. And so this is just furthermore where technology is taking us to the next level that we're so fearful of, but it's going to create so many more things. As Gary Vee talked about, as we've been talking about, there's going to be a surplus of jobs that are created when this AI continues to take full force as it is now, that people are like, oh shit, it's actually here. Yes, it's here. And so buckle up, buttercups, and make sure you guys stay tuned to all the amazing things that we have going. Definitely join us tomorrow for the Wealthy Wednesday with Leah Garcia. And, at the end of the day, go do your own research. Like I said, be careful who you listen to. Hell, be careful listening to us. But I can assure you, all the facts and stats that we shared today, you can go and look at and find out and see them for yourselves. If you want them, go and look at our AI guide that you can get for free and download all those apps and go to start working at them. And without further ado, you guys know the drill. Love,
kindness,
integrity,
but most importantly,
consistent
and
commitment. And at the end of the day,
until next time,
toodles!
Hasta luego!
Sick of wasting time? Exhausted from managing chaos instead of running your business? Do you feel like your business is running you instead? Say goodbye to the chaos and say hello to a smart link that saves you time. Introducing the Biz in a Box.
With the Biz in a Box, you're not just implementing AI and upgrading your website. You are actually unlocking an all-in-one smart link that revolutionizes your foundation and systems while showcasing, marketing, and managing your business. Say goodbye to juggling endless tools, chaos, and outdated business cards. With our one app, one tap system, clients can access your products, services, and resources instantly via your link and QR code.
Just imagine everything your audience needs, beautifully and strategically presented in one seamless hub, designed to save you time, streamline your workflows, keep your audience engaged, and making your life easier. This is the future of business, built for forward-thinking entrepreneurs that are serious about growth and creating a solid foundation with systems that work today and pivot you into the future as Web3 approaches.
Stop living in the past. End the chaos and be the boss. Step into the future with the Biz in a Box. The future is already here.